Delay tech again. I told you. Delay tech will catch people slipping. The whole take the throw. Okay? If you're in the corner, hold up forward. Otherwise, take the throw. Ooh! No! Ooh! Nah. We's the masters, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why? Why? No, we don't jump at sweep. We punish sweep. All right, unfortunate here. We gotta slow down our play, but we still have access to Gladys. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You see, maybe I should become a Marisa player. You know, I'm feeling it. Nah, I'm really not gonna do that because I love my command grabs. So today we are gonna be looking over a Masters Marisa. You feel me? Now the thing is, we're going to be looking for any sort of like micro mistakes. Honestly, so far it's been playing pretty well. It's unfortunate on the jump, but overall. Why do I feel like overwhelmed with the amount of buttons? Let's watch from the beginning. Like I just see like a lot of inputs coming through, which is fine. Like I haven't seen anything that makes it seem wild, but I feel like our Ryu player is just like overloading my brains with all the buttons he's pressing, man. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, so in this case, what are we looking for? I regardless of the rank, this is the question I'm going to be asking everyone. So in this specific case, what were you looking for by neutral jumping? So if you're on this video, I'm sure you need some help. I Lord know I did at some point. So here's the thing. You want your favorite players to come and coach you, but let's be real. They charging like $200 per hour. You don't need that. But what I got you good. I'll give you some free coaching. And what does that mean? That means you drop your CFN down below. I'll go watch your recent ranked matches. I'll assess them, let you know things you can work on, as well as things you can practice in the lab in real time to help you improve. And yeah, I'm not your favorite pro, but I'm available. You know, those pros are not available. So once again, drop your CFN down below. I'll take a look. I'll help you out. And hey, even if I don't help, it was free. You didn't lose anything. Not like the $50-$60 sessions the others be charging. Once again, drop your link down below and back to the video. Okay, let's say we was looking for an air-to-air situation, right? Again, I would suggest jump forward, especially when you're in the corner, just because even the worst comes the worst, you get hit. You know what I mean? It's technically no worse than the situation you were in before taking the Oki. And if you jump forward and it's successful, then you successfully get out the corner and simultaneously put them into the corner. You feel me? Okay, keeping the pressure. Unfortunate on the jump here. Okay, so once you do this, right, ideally you kind of want to back up just a bit, not to the point where you're letting them out the corner, but just back up a bit, just so that you have enough time to kind of react to the things that they want to do, right? Because let's say right after this, they're like drive rush forward. It doesn't give you very much room to kind of react to it. That's why I say give yourself a little bit more leeway. Step back will do you some good. And that way, if they try to do dash, you can check the dash, and then if the moment they hold up, you'll catch that, right? Okay, this guy fumbled the bag. Now he's probably gonna try to do some throw. This is how my mind thinks. Okay, my mind thinks, okay, he's gonna probably either try to Oki me or try to throw me because he no longer has meter to confirm into any sort of damage. So me, being the bold soul I am, right, I'm going to try and wow, okay, you got it. But I would personally try and jump out the corner. Just, you know, check it and see. And if I'm successful, again, I put them in the corner and they're in burnout, so the world's my oyster. And on top of which, what is my man's inputs? He is not okay. I don't like this. I don't like this. Now let me run you through my reasoning as to why I don't like this. Because I feel as though you can hurt him a lot longer and force him into really bad scenarios for a lot longer than if you spend it right away. But if you clear it out right away, then let's say you hit him for 40%. You hit him for 40%, now he's at max meter again. You know, I would prefer that you made your opponent spend more time in burnout than immediately burning it like this. Now, if it's third round, let's talk about scenarios, okay? If it's third round, you have one more meter than you have, and you have 3 bars, go for it. Go for this, because I know that you can make him one shot. You can make it a one-shot scenario right after this. So I don't mind that in that scenario. But for those who don't play a character that can do like 65% off of a combo into level 3, I would suggest not doing this, only because you can force terrible situations upon them if they're in burnout longer. Okay. 40%. Oh no, 30. Okay. You were alright, which is fine. Yo, nah, he's yo, nah, bro. This guy is full tilted. And you can't even really tell because he's wilding out. And then when he get on the ground, oh, he mashing. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, I like that. I like that. But it's also a concern for me because I really feel like drive reversal should be better. Also, let me know if you guys want a Discord. That way you guys can have more contact with me, and then we can kind of go from there. You know, any questions that you have. I know comments is not the greatest, but I feel I can answer them a little bit better if I was in Discord with you guys. So let me know if you would be interested in that. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, my brother. Like, here's what I'll say. I'll say, check with the EX Gladius. See where their head is at. You feel me? It's not that anything you've done is particularly bad. I think it's just a little bit too patient, knowing that you have access to super armor. People who don't have super armor, listen to me well. What he did was the best case scenario for you guys. But if you have access to super armor, in my personal opinion, I feel like you should, you know, strut on it a little bit, abuse it a little bit. But you were perfectly patient, and I do like that parry there. Okay, unfortunate on the whiff there. Okay, nice. Yes, I like it. Unfortunate. You got to keep this tight, man. Honestly, if you know, he's kind of shown us that he's kind of like a little bit of a sporadic guy. So when you're playing, you want to kind of feel out your opponent. I have already kind of noticed that he's already sporadic. His buttons outside of it. Okay, I've noticed this guy's like throwing out DIs, neutral, like it's very sporadic. And when it comes to sporadic opponents, I like to keep things tight. Okay, so when you're fighting people who like to press buttons, like to really check things, like to see if you're doing anything fake, or well, they're not really seeing if you want, they just want to get out the situation. But when you're fighting people like this, keep things tight. And then you should keep things tight until you know that they're respecting you. And then once you know that they're respecting you, then that's when you can kind of take a little bit more leeways. Okay, so unfortunately the overhead got sniped there. Yeah, that's it. Nice. That's a good DI, guys. You should definitely start doing that because it is very good. Now that specific situation is why I would say it's very good, is because he's one shot, and if he tries to DI your DI, he will die for it. So it's a good area to do it. So I'm using this Masters player kind of like to teach others, and also to kind of give a little bit guidance of the things that I see as the Marisa player is playing. Okay, cool. Let's go on to the next one. All right, so we got the next game up here. All right, again, you know, I do love, don't get me wrong, I do love the way you're playing, but the thing is that your opponent hasn't shown the fact that okay, this is how I'm gonna put it. When I was playing at Evo, I came across opponents that didn't show me that they can anti-air me. So what did I do in those scenarios? When I fought those people, I would jump at them. And then, you know, they might anti-air me once out of like 3 times, but I would continue to jump at them until they show you. This is what I'm going to say. Until they show you that they know how to whiff punish Gladius, keep throwing it. Keep checking that space with it. You know what I mean? And then if they get super jumpy, that's when you start air to airing with either well, your crouching heavy punch is not that great, but your air to air, what is it, jumping medium punch, heavy punch, that target combo, air target combo, you can start using that in the air. But until he shows you that respect, yeah, until he shows you that, just abuse it. Okay, pull up. Okay, careful, man. I know that ain't real, so be careful with that. People are gonna mash on you. Good. See how you try to get out of the situation? I'm starting to notice, like, you've already seen from the first game that he doesn't really like to block. So we're going to enforce as many scenarios where he has to block as possible, because he's not choosing parry, he's not choosing like wake up DP, he's not choosing like viable options if you don't want to block. He's like holding up, he's trying to mash. In those cases, keep your joint solid. You keep it solid, players like this won't get you. Okay. Ooh, no. Ooh, nah. We's the masters, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why? No, we don't jump at sweep. We punish sweep. Okay, that's just gonna happen. Tacking, but it's okay. It's the first time that I've seen you tech outside of the burnout situation last game. Okay, yo, take your damage. Oh, okay. All right, unfortunate here. We gotta slow down our play, but we still have access to Gladius. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You see, maybe I should become a Marisa player. You know, I'm feeling it. Nah, I'm really not gonna do that because I love my command grabs. Okay, he swept. Is that a delay tech right there? Yo, listen, I'm a delay tech hater, bro. But it's okay. It's all good. Got hit. Delay tech again. I told you. Delay tech will catch people slipping. The whole take the throw. Okay? If you're in the corner, hold up forward. Otherwise, take the throw. I'm sorry. I know to some other masters or other people who are watching the video, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like it doesn't make sense to take the throw. Like if you can delay tech it, just delay tech it. Look at the situation. In the corner. You chipped him for what? For 30%. It's not worth it. Dang, this guy is sporadic. I know you're going through it. Listen, I know you're going through it because this guy's just, it to you feels super random. Also, on top of which, we should have our mind awake to trying to whiff punish, because currently this is a crouching medium punch and we go to town. Feel me? So we gotta be a little bit more awake to our whiff punishing. Unfortunately, if you're gonna rise up to, let's say your goal is 16 MR, you're gonna have to increase your consistency when it comes to whiff punishing. And I know the whiff punishing training thing is not necessarily for you, but you can go into the lab and kind of simulate the bot to simulate human movement, and then kind of practice your whiff punishing from there. Okay. Unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, you're not dead. Oh, okay. What did you have? I feel like you should have taken an option, but that's okay. Maybe you did take an option and it just didn't come through. Okay. Taken to the corner. What is our option? Okay. Up forward, man. Up forward. Let's say this scenario doesn't work out, right? He ends up blocking and then he ends up hitting you. Now you are still in the corner, okay? Let's say we hold up forward. If we hold up forward, at the very least, we're either A, forcing an air to air where we switch corners, or B, forcing the air to air where number one you're plus, and number two you're a little bit more out the corner, so he can't just like DI you and whatever. He has to kind of think about his offense or his next steps. Yeah. Again, yeah. Well, regardless of whether you kept it tight, this was gonna hit you, but I would prefer that you kept it tight. I feel like you're molding. I feel like the molding is starting to happen because of his randomness. But we'll keep going and see. Oh yeah, it's starting to get to you. The delay teching, you see. I just want, first and foremost, it's fine. Okay, I don't want whoever I'm reviewing to ever feel like I'm shaming you unless I need to hammer down a point. But in this specific case, I'm trying to hammer down the point, not only for, it's a problem not only at the master's level, but at all ranks that know what delay teching is, right? Delay teching will get you cooked. Eat a throw or two. Otherwise, you end up eating more damage than if you gotta guess throw. Now you don't really have an option. You feel me? Delay teching, it's really harmful, man. Like it really gets people. But let's go on to the next one. All right, guys. All right, so third game up. So we already know that our opponent is very sporadic in his gameplay, and on top of which our hero seems that his mentality is starting to descend because of our opponent's sporadic nature. Good, Gladius. Nice to keep things real. Notice how when you kept things real, we're just gonna get counter hit. You see, man. Keep it real. We know my man's is about to mash, bro. We know he is. You can't go for the cheeky stuff until we know he's not gonna match. You gotta keep it tight. So for you, I personally, I feel as though when it comes to your gameplay, you need to learn when to take liberties versus knowing when to keep it tight. Okay, once you keep it tight, those decisions where he mashes crouch jab, you know what I mean, you're cleaving 30-35%, then he'll be like, hey, alright, let me chill on the buttons because I keep getting blown up. Either that, or he's gonna start trying to DP, in which it works in our favor because he's coming off more of his meter, right? Okay, was that, what was that? That was so random. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to be that person who just says, damn, that's random, but like, this is just like, wow, you really just did it. But it's okay. Okay, wake up. Yeah. So what I've heard about Marisa is that actually her crouching jab doesn't actually go into the next one. So you have to be more mindful and start to use like crouching light kick. That's at least what I've heard, because crouching light kick into crouch jab actually works. Okay, this is good. So in this scenario, I would even say check with Gladius, see what happens. You know, see how they respond to you doing Gladius consistently. And if their answer is to jump, you know what I'm saying, we anti-hear that. So then once you land like this, Gladius up. Delay teching. Delay teching's not your friend. That's a kill. Yeah. Delay teching is not your friend, man. I'm telling you. Okay. If we know, okay. We know the spacing on this is fairly difficult. It's either A, we legit try to punish it, but even then, you have to go into the lab and practice your punishes. But if it's fully spaced out, it's unlikely that you're going to get the punish for it. And if you're comfortable in knowing the fact that you're not going to punish it, then I would say step a little bit back. Either that or check with Gladius. But unfortunately, in this specific case, we know that he did crouching medium kick again. Okay, so unfortunately you would have ended up losing that exchange, but not everyone goes for crouching medium cook. That's a good Gladius anti-air, man. Again, check the space. I don't know about using Superman punch. If you want to check the space, check with a forward advancing like Spartan kick. Check the space that way. Reason why I say check the space that way is because I feel like the Superman punch forward is it has to be used in very unique situations as opposed to like a neutral tool. I've seen people use Spartan kick a lot more, and I know it's susceptible to DI, but with that being said, you got to be a little bit more careful. Okay, delay teching. Oh, delay teching is the one that's gonna be the ender of all people, man. Okay, let's go over a couple of things. Not too many things in the homework section, to be honest with you. Overall, you played well. The only thing that I'd say, number one, is that you need to be a little bit more comfortable establishing how your opponent likes to play. Okay, I'll get into all of that in the homework section, and let's go. Okay, so now that we are in the lab, let's talk lab talk. All right, let's get it. So first thing and foremost, I want you to feel a little bit more comfortable checking the space with this. You did do it. I'm not saying you didn't do it, but I'm saying they were not showing you that they know how to punish this or how to whiff punish this. So what I'm saying is abuse this a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the time when you use it in neutral, you end up catching them out, you know? So try using that to abuse it. Also, doing this, shouldn't do this anymore on Wake Up, okay? Also, I want you to start doing this a little bit. Not because it's like, you know, you're going to catch them, but just to check the space, you know, max range. And if you happen to hit them, look how far they go. You know what I mean? Like, you're already halfway there. Eat another one of those, boom, he's in the corner. All right, there was one situation where I believe it was something to the along the lines of something like this. Okay, when you, how do I put this? Once you have shown them, once your turn is done, okay, you want to, you know that their goal is to get out the corner. Your goal is to stop them. Where is this? Where is this thing? There it is. Your goal is to stop them as however you can, okay? Even if that means jump back, light kick, okay? Because you know how it has a very odd hitbox and you can catch them out that way. But ideally, once your turn ends and they've shown you that they're not necessarily going to press, it was something along the lines, and then it left you at around like this range. So I believe there was something in the corner where you were doing something like something along the lines of checking the space or whatever, and then you did something like this, right? And it spaced you out. What I'd say is that it didn't space you out that well. Hold on, it was something like this, okay? From here, what I want you to do is just to relax a little bit, step a little bit back and relax. Why? Because it gives you enough room to react to whatever they want to do. Obviously, this is not the better of options, but you have this, and you also have access to your jumping target combo so that you can snipe them down on the ground. So essentially what you want to do is kind of just control this space, you know? Make sure that they're super uncomfortable. That way they feel like they're forced to jump, and then you can possibly get the counter hit off of this or keep them in the corner, and then that's when you can start going for your mix and whatever have you, okay? Also, there was a situation where we were about here, and then we tried doing this. Now, like I said, this thing is not actually real, and we have already seen that our opponent likes to do some mashing on block, okay? So if that's the case, I would much rather prefer you go for something that's like real, and then kind of check them for it, right? And then keep checking them for it until they block, because we know that this guy is going to be random. He's going to do whatever, right? We got to make sure that every time that he does something that he shouldn't be doing, he hurts for it, okay? That's why I say that you should definitely tighten up And I know it's not on a matter of like you not knowing how to make your screenings tight, but it's a matter of you not doing it, because you need to recognize what type of opponent. Because if you're dealing with an opponent that's super patient, then ideally you're gonna have to, you know, play a little bit more neutral. But if it comes to an opponent that just wants to mash, then we let him kill himself. That's what a lot of opponents end up doing. They end up killing themselves, right? Then I'm committing to something they shouldn't have. They end up doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and overall it's not a good scenario. So the next thing that I wanted to go over, hopefully my recording is still there. Let's see if it's here. Perfect. Okay, so this was a scenario that we found ourselves in, and then we tried to check, and unfortunately we weren't able to check them for it. Okay, what I'd say is that, again, if you're not confident in the check, then just walk back a slight step. Why? Because they want to use the donkey kick as a spacing trap. Okay, for those who don't know what a spacing trap is essentially something that is technically minus, but because you are spaced out from the opponent in a certain way, it doesn't allow them to actually press buttons. And if they try to press buttons, then you can whiff punish them and hurt them for trying to press buttons in that scenario. Okay, so in this scenario, you try doing that, right? Oh my, why did I not record this right? Yeah, something to that extent, right? And then you tried to press, you got hit for it. Okay, if you're not completely confident in the punish and you know that it might not be a punish, I'd say don't take the risk, right? And check them to see if they're, walk back a slight smidge and check them if they're gonna try and do something. And then if they decide to do something, you punish them. I put that comment together, it's ugly, I know, but hey, it's the best I could do. Okay, leave me alone. So that is one of the scenarios that I saw. Let's see what this one was. So just being comfortable in the neutral and kind of checking the space like this, right? Making sure that you're throwing in a couple of these just to, you know, move a little bit forward. And if they do decide to neutral jump and hit you, okay, now we understand we have to be a little bit more sparing with this. So now it's more of just being a little bit more aware of what your opponent is doing. Right now you have a good understanding of what your character does, right? But now it becomes more of a game of what is your opponent doing and what are your countermeasures against what your opponent likes to do. So the last situation that I wanted to go over was this situation here. Now this is not necessarily to reprimand you, but it's more to illuminate on the situation. So while doing this is technically not the worst thing to do, why I say you shouldn't have done it is because you can now pressure them with better block strings, right? Now they kind of have to block. Okay, now he's forced into a situation where he has to block, right? He has to keep blocking because at the end of the day he is broken right now. So then now he has to hold all of your whatever you want to do to him. Now he has to hold that, right? So now whatever happens to him, boom, whatever, right? He has to block up until around the point where you feel as though you can kill him. So once you feel that you can kill him, then I say check him and then DI him. Then from there you take, I don't know, you take your route. That's what it was. You take your route, woo-de-woo. Once you think you're gonna kill him, you take your route, whatever it is, right? I'm not the Marisa player. You are, God. Like, anyways. So you take your route, you do whatever, but starting off doing it right about here, you're not really going to get the value out of your burnout state. Okay, so you want to force as much value out of it as possible. So maybe about the point where they get about here's where you want to start locking it in, maybe even here. Okay, once they get to around this point, this is where you want to kind of lock it in, put it in. Okay, for Marisa players, depending on what round you are on, if you are at round 1 and you maybe only have 1 or 2 meter, if you got optimals, maybe you want to do it around this health. Okay, you got optimals and you got level 2. If you got optimals like you say you got them, you know, maybe no, that's too much health. Maybe around here. DI him, boom bops, whatever it is, I'm not the Marisa player, whatever it is, okay, then you kill him using the level 2. I don't care, you come off the level 2. Even if, like, say you lose round 2, you'll get for round 3 you'll have level 3, so you'll be fine. So use the level 2, whatever you have in round 1, use it to win. Okay, that's all I had to say. Let me know how you're feeling about Marisa. Let me know how you're feeling about the Masters stuff. Okay, we do love watching our Masters players because all of us can improve, including myself. Might even do a self VOD where I review one of my matches, but of course I gotta play the game. I'm so busy these days. Anyways, so thank you again for watching. Hope you enjoyed. All right, tighten up that defense, my friend. You'll be all right. All right, have a good one, y'all. Peace.